Hello, hello, hello. It's Hallie, your host of My Sister's Closet podcast. And I will be the sister that you always wanted but never had. And guys, I am officially here. We have one more week until July, which means 6 months you've been hearing me talk. So thank you for that. I've enjoyed every minute of it. I've had a lot of fun. I've had a lot of sad. I've had a lot of angry moments too, and exciting moments. And I'm just grateful for the year that I've had. And it's been extremely hectic, extremely busy, with a lot of intention, though. I started the podcast, I created and got it approved into the App Store, my Inner Mind app. Super cool. I have started the process of cultivating a community where we do wellness events, where we do intentional time of emotional release. And I'm really excited to see where this goes. And so I wanted to do a quick Reddit react, and I wanted to use the term that was spoken about in the Reddit thread. It's called giver burnout. And giver burnout is basically when the giver finally stops giving, not because they don't care anymore. It happens when someone reaches that stage. It's just that they've been giving too much, maybe for too long. And this person was talking about how they are kind of experiencing that, where they aren't able to really joyfully or comfortably give anymore. Um, and a lot of people were like, What can I do for you? What can I do for this person? What can I do for this person?" And you're giving and you're giving and you're pouring yourself out. But what have we been learning, right? You can't pour from an empty cup. And so when a giver is doing too much, you become the one person that does the job meant for two. And when that happens, and that's something that they were saying too, you take on too much by yourself. And you're also it's not being reciprocated. Um, in some cases, I'm not saying that is the case for now or for here, but in that story, that person felt like it wasn't being reciprocated, and they were experiencing burnout of kindness, basically. And the interesting thing is like being a kind person, you're so kind that you do this and that you give and you give. But if this happens to you, it means you're being kind to everyone, but the main person you need to be kind to, which is yourself. And, I do value that I read this and that we're talking about it, because I think that, we're in the summer and it's good to talk about burnout right now because things are heating up. You know what I'm saying? Sorry. that was lame. But things are heating up and things are getting busy, and the kitchen's getting hot, and I was thinking about myself in that I have been giving a lot. I have been pushing forward and being like, I need to create this. I need to build this environment for people. And I am super grateful that I did. I love the fact that I have been getting out of my comfort zone and trying to create the things that I've always wanted to do and create. And I've always wanted to use my voice. But I set a goal at the beginning of the year that I would do 10 episodes of this podcast. And I'm almost to 30 episodes. And while that is fantastic, it did give me pause when I got to the end, towards the end of this month. And I started thinking, okay, I need to regroup, and I need to, make a list of the things that I want to do going forward. And so when I paused not because I think that's exactly where I am, that I'm at burnout, giver burnout. but because it did make me ask a question. Like, when I am thinking about not posting, or when I am thinking about maybe not doing the podcast episode or whatever it may be, I'm thinking, does that make me feel like I'm failing? And as y'all know, I've been reading the 101 ways to change the way that you think. And I read about emotionally healthy people and what they do, and then also people who, like, how do you measure a good life? And some of the questions that started coming up with me are like, how often do I think that if I stop producing, if I stop showing up, or stop carrying everything that I'm, metaphorically carrying, how often when I do that do I feel like I'm letting someone down? And I've talked a lot about living intentionally this year. I've talked about healing, about finding community, about slowing down. And when I was reading about the measure of a good life, or how we measure good life, it's about being human. It's about living your life and not trying to do anything too extreme in that you have missed the point, right? Do all the things that you want to do, but don't miss the point of life. And it's for living. And I want to do that, I find that incredibly important. And when I was reading that and they were saying, like, being in the messy, being in the maybe not so pretty and the pretty, being in all that, that is life. And there's so much to do and to live and to experience. And, I've said a lot of these things. I've talked about, um, you know, emotional intelligence, but what about being emotionally healthy and being someone who measures their life and how much good I've done, and that how much did I actually get to live and experience, bad, the good, and the bad. And I've said so many things about living intentionally, but if I never actually practice it, am I actually teaching? I'm telling you guys to set it down. I'm telling you guys to live your lives and experience things and to be resilient and know when to let things go. And so that chapter, it challenged me really, and that Reddit post, all of that together, it is really challenging me to think about what a good life actually looks like. And to me and to you, it may be different. It may be different to every single person, but isn't that the point? Because we're all so different. And that's the wonderful thing, is that I can't tell you what a good life to you is. And you can't tell me what a good life to me is. And we have to figure that out daily, minute by minute, choosing to live a life that when you look back on it, you understand that it wasn't about, yes, about the things that you accomplished, but it was about the things that you did that made you feel good, that made you feel present in the moment. And that life, judging it, measuring it by meaningful relationships, laughing with people, being out there in nature and enjoying the sun and fruit and vegetables, and loving on your family members, loving on the strangers that you see all around you. Those are things that can make your life good. Those are things that matter. And I'm not talking about, yes, I talk about sisterhood, brotherhood, and community, because I do find those things so important. They are a building block to having a good life. However, that community can be seeing the person in the checkout line, saying hello to the person who's taking your order and really meaning it. Those things are the good things in life. And for me, I want to take the walks. I want to meet the friends and have the fun relationships. And I want to live a life that gives us something worth talking about. And so I'm talking about these things in preparation to let you guys know that I'm about to do that. And so for the month of July, I am stepping away from the podcast. And it's not because, like, I don't love it, because y'all know that I do. I can talk forever. I can talk forever. And it's not because I'm giving up. It's because for me, I want to live my life for a time. I want to be able to put those things into practice that I've been talking about. And it's not because I'm completely burned out, but I will say that I want to make sure what I'm giving you guys, and because what I want to be able to say is that I am living life. I'm doing the things that I always wanted to do. And so, yeah, I want to go live. I want to build community. I'm working on that. I have a few projects that I've been um, looking into. I still need to publish my children's book. I'm super excited about that. I am having a switch on the publishing form that I'm using, so I may do self publishing. But yeah, I want to have stories to tell you guys. I want to have things that I look back on this year and say I was doing it not just so that I could create content. I was doing it because I want to experience life before it passes me by. And so before I sit down back in front of you guys, I want to do that, and I want to take some time and be with my kids and process the year so far. And I'm taking a Christmas in July break, baby. Um, I don't want this podcast to end up being where I just tell you guys to live intentionally. I want to be a reflection of that for you guys. And I want to be honest when I say that I just need a Christmas and July break. I want to go live. I want to go laugh and love. And I am so grateful for you guys, and I love you guys. And y'all just have a great day. So I am going to be back in August. We are doing a What Sisterhood Is Not series, and I'm super excited about that. I'm not doing a rebrand, but I do want to incorporate the men folk in here. And so after that, y'all can expect some conversations that are not just women, but men oriented. We are in a loneliness epidemic, and it does not just affect the women who are listening or the women around me. We're all in this together. Homage to High School Musical. But we are, you know, I want to have conversations with my friends, with my family, with men, with women, with people who challenge the way that we think. Because My Sister Closet was never meant to be about me. It was meant to be about all of us and about understanding and having a place to come to when you have questions or things that you want to understand. It's about community. So peace and love, light. Peace, love, and light. And I will see you guys next month. Bye.